If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I usually make videos about the leaks and spoilers and usually cover them. But I did not cover chapters 324 of Blue Lock. And for that, I want to talk about just Blue Lock as a series as of right now and this match currently in this arc and what I'm feeling right now about this stuff. Because, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, Blue Lock is heading down a dark path to me. I'm gonna be so real. Blue Lock is heading down a dark path. So anyways, if you guys like this type of content, please remember that like and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. I want to preface by saying that I still love Blue Lock. No matter what, Blue Lock will always be in my heart as the first sports series I really began to really like that in anime. And it was really an amazing experience to kind of first time experience Blue Lock all the way up until the U20 arc. But that is exactly where my problems started arising with the NEL and now the U20 World Cup. The main thing about this current chapter, the reason why I didn't cover it, is because I don't feel like I had the need to cover this chapter. Now you're probably like, Extendo, what are you even talking about? The reason why I'm saying this is because I think that Blue Lock for a long time with its chapters has had like a sort of pattern happening in the chapter. For instance, for this chapter, or the last couple chapters, I've been predicting that I think Isagi, as soon as I found out he wouldn't score in that possession, I've been predicting that he would go down the court, or go down the field, take and completely demolish Onazi, then go up the field and finally score the last goal. I've been predicting that that's how the last play would end up. And lo and behold, I was right. I was word for word, bar for bar right that happened. Now, when I talk about predictability in manga, I feel like that's the worst thing you can do as an author to your series. Especially a series like Blue Lock that relies on a lot of suspense, you know, unpredictability. Because when your series is predictable and you're meant to be unpredictable, you lose suspense, you lose tension in your series. So when I already know what's going to happen before it happens, that's not a good thing at all. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is we have to look into why that was so predictable. The reason why I think that was so predictable is literally because I think that this has been happening way too much, where, you know, a player would go all the way down, Isagi would completely destroy them, or somebody would completely destroy them, especially for the Nigeria game. We knew Nigeria was garbage. We knew they were garbage. We knew they weren't going to do anything throughout this entire match. So I don't know why this match, first of all, isn't just 5 chapters long. But on top of that, I don't know why we're doing all this build-up for them trying to score when you're not going to let them score anyways. I don't get it. I don't get it. This build-up is just absent build-up for nothing. It's just build-up for Isagi's final goal so he could get a cool aura moment to start the whole arc. I'm sorry, like, we've seen a billion of those. It's starting to lose its impact, Kaneshiro. But okay, either way, back to the predictability. This starts all the way back in the NEL. Where back in the NEL, we could literally predict who would score on each team, and sometimes even the order of which that they would score. You knew that in the PXG game, when Shido scored, when Kaiser scored, and it was 1-1, you knew the next person, or 2-1, you knew the next person who was going to score to make the game 2-2 was Rin, because he's the only other guy who hasn't scored. Now imagine how unpredictable the series could have been if instead of Rin scoring the next goal, Rin misses and Shido gets another goal or something like that. That is exactly what old Blue Lock was like. I'm going to explain it to you. Old Blue Lock, especially in the second selection, was very unpredictable. Let me ask you guys right now, how many of you guys thought that the second time Isagi played against Rin, Isagi would win? I'll raise my hand right now. I thought Isagi would defeat Rin the second time he played him. And I bet a lot of other people did too. But Isagi lost. Nobody predicted that. That was super unpredictable. It was also super unpredictable for Isagi to block Bachira's awakening shot. It was also super unpredictable for the ball to fall right into Rin's hands. You see how all these events throughout this match was very unpredictable? We did not know which way the game was going to go before we seen it. Now, if we look at the U20 World Cup, of course, the match starts. We need a couple chapters to gauge how good the team is. But after I gauged how good Nigeria was, I then found out that, like, they're trash. They're nothing special. And since they're nothing special, I already knew that Kaneshiro is not going to let this team score. We're in the last 5 minutes of the game. What makes you think Isagi, the guy who hasn't scored yet, who's the MC of the series, is not going to score in this game? Because now Isagi needs to score in every single game, because that's what Kaneshiro wants him to. I remember when a series like Blue Lock was a series about every single side character and character being their own protagonist. I remember that. But now it just feels like we have one protagonist. Just one. And I feel like that is just a compilation of a lot of factors that make this series a shell of its former self. I'm sorry, I have to say it. Unless something gets fixed, Blue Lock currently is a shell of its former self. I'm going to take you back to the 13th chapter of Blue Lock. The chapter where Isagi had scored his first goal in the entire series and claims that he is a striker. He gets his first ego. And in this chapter, it actually starts quite similarly to this one. The other team is on the counterattack. Now in this counterattack, they go down the field, Isagi's in his head, whatever. It's basically the same situation, with the other team being in a counterattack at the beginning of the chapter. The difference between that and the chapter we currently got is, we had to wait a week for this chapter and a week for that chapter. So that's the same. But this chapter ends when Isagi gets the ball. And that chapter ended after Isagi scored the goal. So we advanced the story. Guys, I don't know how to tell you, but Blue Lock has a major pacing problem. I don't know why. I don't know how this has started when the NEL arc started, I think. It all starts with the NEL. But the pacing, guys, is so horrendous. We're really giving a game like this, a Nigeria match. Now, it's the first match of the U20 World Cup, I understand. We're giving a game like this such attention, like it's a main game. Why don't we advance the story, Kaneshiro? We're writing a story here. We don't need to waste time on something that's so, like, I'm sorry, like, this is not interesting to 90% of the fan base. I might be just LARPing right now. You guys might think I'm just yapping, but, bro, I'm being so real when I say this. Like, I genuinely feel like 90% of the fan base right now is thinking the same thing about this Nigeria match that I am. That this match sucks. This is the worst match in the entire Blue Lock series, by far. And the thing is, you can look at any match pre-NEL, and it's a consistent quality of match. Consistent, unpredictable, and well-paced. Every single one of them have those qualities. I can't think of one badly paced match in Blue Lock. Early compared to now. But when you look at the matches before U20, every single one of them had good pacing. Now when we go to the NEL, of course. Bartra, quick little game. I think it was still 20 chapters long, so that's just setting its own precedent. Mansign, I think, had good pacing. Uber's pacing was not that great. PXG's pacing was not that great. I feel like Kaneshiro has fallen into a trap where, I don't know, maybe he's not planning the story out and he doesn't want to advance the story too much, so he can just advance it a little bit and go step by step and plan it. Because I think it's pretty obvious that from all the way from the beginning to U20, this story felt like it was planned out every step of the way. And so every single chapter actually served a purpose to advance the story. I could come into Blue Lock, right? Maybe not read this chapter, or at the beginning of this match, I could come into Blue Lock, not read maybe 3 chapters of the first, 3 chapters of this match, come in, and then know exactly what's going to happen in one chapter. Like, it's not rocket science. This series is very predictable now. And on top of being very predictable, this series is also badly paced. That is the worst aspects that you could have in a weekly manga. Now, I'm not trying to start hating on Blue Lock, guys. I'm gonna be so real. I love the Blue Lock from the beginning all the way to U20. I loved it. That stretch of chapters is golden. The fact that we had the entire first selection arc in the first 50, 30 chapters of the series is just brilliant. That's brilliant. And then the second selection arc, which gave us 4 matches, only went from chapter 30 to chapter 90. That's 60 chapters. But then we have 4 matches in the NEL, which is over 100 chapters. You guys see how much more interesting games are when they're paced much better? I guarantee you, if Kaneshiro starts pacing games much better throughout the U20 World Cup arc and shit actually progresses every single chapter, something is happening to make us look forward to the next week and not make it predictable, then I guarantee you everyone's going to be enjoying Blue Lock again. Everyone will be talking about Blue Lock again. But because that's not the case, nobody is right now. Nobody. And I might be hating, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate. But again, this is just a rant. I'm just pretty amped right now. You guys do understand. Like, I'm amped. I do not like the direction the series is going in right now. And I really hope Kaneshiro can fix it up. But yeah, man, let me know you guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Share it to your friends. Anyone who likes Blue Lock, let them know their opinion. What do they think about this video? And yeah, man, I hope you guys all have a great day. Goodbye.